Hello, my friend. Amner Hunter here from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. So, the company FabFilter just released the new version of the workhorse industry standard renowned EQ plugin, the Pro Q. This is now the version 4, and in today's video, I want to check out some of the new features, test them as well, and of course show you what's special about this new version, and how it's maybe competing with other brands, and how maybe FabFilter, I think it's staying in top at the top, and not like getting behind with new features, new improvements on each of these iterations. You will find the link in the video description and first comment. I believe there is a free trial available. And so before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website, amnerhunter.com, where you can grab some free stuff that might be helpful for you, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some extra free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel. I am updating it regularly, but I am also advising you to visit my main channel, which is Amner Hunter, just like that. And you will find a lot of freebies almost every day. I am updating it, and also a lot of important and relevant deals almost on a daily basis. So go ahead and check it out. Also, it's going to be linked in the video description and pinned comment. So let's check out some of the overview of the website of this new version. I'm not gonna read everything, just make an overview of what's new, right? Before actually getting my hands on the plugin and testing it in front of you guys, right? So FabFilter Pro Q4 24 band industry standard, right? We already knew that since its original release in 2009. FabFilter Pro Q has become the trusted workhorse EQ plugin for many engineers. That's not debatable. So Pro Q4 offers everything that a demanding engineer could wish for: top quality linear phase operation in addition to the zero latency and unique natural phase modes, smooth dynamic EQ per band mid-side processing, full surround support up to Dolby Atmos, an intelligent solo feature, optional auto gain, and built-in fully customizable spectrum analyzer, effortlessly sculpt your sound. Unique features like spectrum grab, full screen mode, and EQ match will speed up your workflow even more. FabFilter goodies, alright, so all the goodness of the Pro Q3 is still here, such as the highest possible sound quality, dynamic EQ, natural and linear phase, alright. Those are things from the FabFilter. So let's jump to the updates in version 4, right? So usability improvements and EQ sketch. Wonder if you could ever just draw the curves you'd like. Now you can, right? Okay, so the new instance list lets you control all instances in your session via a single plugin interface. That's a major update. Very cool. Use spectral dynamics to treat problem frequencies more precisely and efficiently. All right, and yeah, before it has compression, right, per band, but now it has spectral compression, more detailed. Set up your mixes with one of the character modes to add the analog vintage feel. So now it has a saturation, right, and a bit of coloration, because normally the Pro Q is super clean, super transparent, but now we have that. So the dynamic EQ section has been improved with attack and release settings, but also optional free sidechain filtering. That's also pretty cool. Before it didn't have attack and release, so now it has the compression and You can now choose to use fractional slope settings if you need to. Right, that's also a good one. Instead of the fixed slope settings, now you can put whatever slope you want in between, right? Improved dynamic EQ processing for less distortion and cleaner sound. Improved precision in linear phase processing. New all-pass filter shape, right? To flip the phase on different bands. You can now copy and paste EQ bands or presets also between instances or via the new instance list. That's also pretty cool. Improved analog matching in zero latency and natural phase mode. Change parameters directly via the value display in the EQ. Control it by dragging or with the mouse wheel. And overall new fresh and design. Right? So yeah, that's you can read more super microscopic improvements, right? But that's the overall of what's new in this new version. So let me take you to my DAW now. Let's actually take a look at these new features. So I'm gonna play an audio, but it's actually the output is muted just so that you can see the visuals, right, of the sound going on through the Pro Q4. So the plugin is very smooth, right, as always, but now I feel it a bit smoother. It's very sleek as always, right? You can add like the 24 bands as usual. We have a bit of new design on the user interface, right? A bit more modern, if you want to call it like that, right? That's the usual stuff. So for instance, let's make this a bit bigger so that you can see it a bit better, maybe. So if you put your mouse here, like to create a new curve or something, you're gonna see this small lines, right? And it's letting you know like what curve you're like putting if you have your mouse there, for instance, right? If you click, you're gonna create that band, right? So it's letting you beforehand like how the curve is going to look like, right? Here we have a like a high shelf, a band, right? So you see a bit blurry line before actually setting the curve, right? So that's one thing. Also, you can draw, right, with this function here in the corner, that bottom left corner. So we can now draw the EQ curve like this. So you draw it like that, right? And very, very smooth actually. It's like drawing on an iPad or something. And let's see, like that. And now it's created, right? You have full control over each one of the bands created, right? So what I was telling you about the slopes, right? Here we have the slopes, right? So normally, as the previous version, Pro Q3, we had like 6, and in this one too, 6, 12 decibels per octave, 18, 24, 30, till 96, right? But now we can actually set something in between, right? For instance, let me choose this one. This is the Q. 12 decibels per octave. Now we can change, for instance, here 10 maybe, right? So that's pretty cool. And we can edit that. We can edit some other slopes here. This is the Q, the decibels, the frequency range. Of course, we can solo each one of the bands like in the previous version, right? But that slope changing and not only having it fixed, that's another improvement in this version, right? Also, we have the coloration and saturation, right? We have three modes. We're going to listen to them in a moment. We have clean, subtle, and warm, right? And it's going to add some coloration, very, very musical saturation and coloration. The subtle one is pretty cool. The warm is a bit more intense, but it's still subtle, but in a nice way. It's not like distortion to the point of distortion or something like that. Very, very smooth, but very musical, adding that extra character and changing this plugin from a transparent to a more analog sounding EQ, right? So that's also pretty cool. And also one cool added feature is the communication between all of the plugin instances that you have on your mix, right? For instance, if you click here where it says drums, now I have all of the instances of the plugin that I have put across the mix. I put the FabFilter Pro Q4 on bass, on distorted guitars, on synthesizers, on vocals, right? And we can now make all of the changes in one single interface. That's pretty cool, right? Here we have the different groups where I have set the EQs. We can change the view to smaller and bigger, right? Like that. This is pretty cool because when you click here, it will highlight like the instrument that you are using it, where you are using it. You can also pin, right? You can also with this you're going to pin that particular instance of the plugin, right? And also one cool feature that we have is that if we click this, it's going to highlight where our track it's clashing frequency wise with other tracks, right? This part in red that's being highlighted, right, is clashing in this frequency with the vocals, in this frequency range with the synthesizers, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool, right? And we can, if we close here, we go back to the original EQ instance, right? So that's very, very cool. Let me close everything here. I think a reset button would be great. Maybe it has the reset button to reset everything to start from scratch and all that. So yeah, that's those are pretty much. Oh, I'm sorry, I was missing something here. The dynamic section, right? So if we can make dynamic this band, right, like usual, but and let's change here. This is the threshold, right? And now we have attack and release. So here we have a fast attack time, slow attack time, faster attack time. This is in percentage, right? Not in milliseconds. Then we have the release as well, fast release or slow release. And we can listen only to the compression, right, per band. It has an external sidechain button as well. And this one is pretty cool. Here we can like only trigger the compression via sidechain, right? Like maybe getting only the low end, the mid range, the high end, right? That will trigger this this compressor. So that's a new feature as well. Pretty cool. So let me set it per band like that. And if we click here, or also we can right click and make spectral dynamics, right? So let's, for instance, there it is. So now it's compressing, but with spectral algorithm, right? So it's not compressing. It's like Soothe, those type of plugins that are working on a more microscopic level dynamically, right? Like golf balls and stuff like that on this specific band that we have, right? And let's increase the range, right? We can make the attack faster, the release slower, spectral band density. So yeah, though that's pretty much it. With the new features, you have everything from the Pro Q4. So yeah, that's very, very cool. Now let's do some changes here on different instruments. For instance, let's start with the drums. Let me add, for instance, warm coloration here. Okay, let's turn off the saturation. Okay, let's do some EQ changes here. Let's make this high shelf. Let's create a high pass here. Okay, off. Clean. Subtle. Clean. Okay, the auto gain is here. It's subtle, but it's definitely there, right? So that harmonic coloration. For instance, let's make this spectral dynamics. Like spectral dynamics, right? Like that. Let's decrease the threshold a bit. Okay, let's take a listen to this. Fast release and fast attack time. Okay, regular spectral dynamics. Very cool, we can make everything spectral. Right, we can add some subtle. Alright, and let's leave this like that. Well, actually, I can still work in this plugin, right? So let's go here to the bass. Let's go here, for instance. This is the bass, right? Okay, so I thought that I could EQ here, listening only the bass, but I'm not hearing the changes. Or maybe I need to have this one as well. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not hearing the changes, right? With one instance, which I thought that was a point as well, right? Yeah, I'm making changes to the bass, but that it's not working. Maybe I'm missing something here. But if it's not there, that would be a great new feature to add, right? But anyway, let's continue here. I'm gonna use the instance that's on the bass. Let's create a high pass filter here. Let's add some extra saturation. Here we can change to a high pass or low pass. All right. Let's make this one dynamic. Sometimes the auto gain, I don't use it very often, the auto gain, to be honest. Okay, and let's go with the guitars here. Okay, so let's draw, for instance, a high pass filter here. Well, it's probably too much, around 90. Let's change the slope here. We're cleaning the low end, right? Also the high end. We can attack here some nasty frequencies. Some error. Okay. Of course, I recommend you mixing in context with other instruments. Let's go to synthesizers. A lot of low end on these synths. So what we can do is we can control the low end with a low shelf and make it dynamic, right? Spectral dynamics is pretty cool. Like from, let's say, 150. Make spectral dynamics. Fast attack, medium release time. Off. Too much low end, right? But reducing a bit here. Some presence here. We don't have a lot of low end actually. Let's make a low pass. So it's controlling a bit the low end here. Well, not a bit, but dynamically. Okay, let's leave it like that, and let's go to the vocals.
Empty eyes are still wide open. Silent voices calling.
High pass.
Empty
Remove some low end here.
voices calling. So hard to breathe, I'm choking. What's the so much more?
Some
Empty
low end
eyes
here
are still wide
that prevents
open.
to understanding better the vocals.
Empty eyes are still wide open. Silent voices calling.
Okay, also at 700 hertz, around 700, we have some nasal frequencies.
Empty. Silent voices calling. Choking. What's the point of feeling something? 'Cause now it hurts so much more.
Okay, let's, for instance, the S's.
Empty eyes are still wide open.
Around this area, right? Let's make it
so hard to breathe,
spectral as well.
I'm choking. What's the point of feeling something? 'Cause now it hurts so much more.
Right, it's reducing. Let's listen. The S's mostly, right? Fast attack.
Empty eyes are still wide open. Silent voices calling.
Smoother, I think.
Empty eyes are still wide open.
Cool.
Silent voices calling.
A little low end. Let's take a listen now to everything.
Empty eyes are still wide open.
And let's go to this. For instance, the vocal. Let's see how it's clashing with others. Right. We can reduce something here, maybe. Drums. So yeah, I think my only critique it would be that you can, like, maybe if I solo this, listen only this the sound, even though I'm on the instance on the vocals. I would be good to listen to that instrument from this instance. I don't know if you can understand what I'm talking about, right? I think that would be very, very cool. Also to EQ something and being able to listen to that change here. For instance, if I do this, I'm not listening to any change on the drums, right? But if I do this, if I, for instance, add a band here and I go to the instance on the drums, it's going to be there, right? But I'm not gonna be able to hear the change, so that could be maybe my only critique. So for instance, if I turn off all of the instances of the plugins, let me test it. So they are on, off, on, off, on. Let's listen there. Off. On. Yeah, the tracks fit a bit better, right? Due to the EQ changes, removing low end where it's not necessary, where it's competing with others, you know, stuff like that, right? So now, for instance, let's check out quickly the CPU performance of FabFilter. I have the plugin on the drum bus, on the bass, on the distorted guitars bus, synths bus, and vocal bus. So it's here on the drums, 5.76. Well, I have other plugin here on the drum bus, so it's not the only one. So right, let me turn it off. So now 531, and for instance on the bass, where's the bass? Here's the bass, 2.88 on clean guitars, on distorted guitars 0.37. So it's very, very lightweight, and maybe, of course, depending on the bands that we are opening, maybe it's a bit more. I believe the more bands that you add, the more CPU performance. For instance, synthesizers 444, 443, 456, 487, and the same as the vocals, right? 484, 477, around that. So it's still lightweight CPU and CPU friendly. And you can notice also when you open up the plugin here, when you open, for instance, a new instance of the plugin, it's very, very quickly to open. So that way you can notice it's very CPU friendly and very lightweight, right? So yeah, that's that. So at the moment, the FabFilter Pro Q4 has an upgrade offer if you're not gonna purchase the complete package from scratch, which is $127, right? But if you have Pro Q1, 2, or 3, you can upgrade for $84, right? And yeah, I saw a comment from someone that purchased some days ago the Pro Q3, the version before this, and FabFilter sent him immediately an upgrade for free. I don't know if that's a thing for everyone, but that user said that on a comment that I saw, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty generous from FabFilter. But anyway, this is the deal, the offer: $84 upgrade and $179 if you don't have any other version and you want to purchase this new version 4. So there you go, my friends. Let me know what you think of this new version. I'm always happy and interested to know your opinions. And yeah, before we leave, let me invite you quickly to my website where you can grab some additional free stuff, some free PDF guides and ebooks, some extra free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost, weekly, maybe. And check out my main channel, amnorhunter.com. I am updating it almost daily with tons of mostly free resources and also important deals. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye bye and take care.